Here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Uncut Long War 2. Today's soldier is brought to you by Andy Schwarzkopf. In the year 2035, some humans enjoy a comfortable life inside the walls of Advent megacities. Andrzej Schwarzkopf and his family are not so fortunate. While they've managed to survive for many years with the help of local resistance groups, Andrzej has an incurable disease that's entering its final stages. When XCOM visited his resistance haven, Andrzej approached them and asked if he could join. He said to the recruiter, "I want to give whatever life I have left to help save humanity." Though he looked sickly, the recruiter saw passion in his eyes and a strong desire to fight. Andrzej was escorted onto the Sky Ranger. When Andrzej arrived on the Avenger, Dr. Tigan noted that his disease could be cured at an Advent clinic, but he's heard the stories and doesn't want help from the enemy. So, we're gonna see this guy on the battlefield today, and we're gonna find out if his desire to fight and save humanity is good enough to take down some Advent. Before we jump into today's mission, we're going to take a quick look at the Advanced Warfare Center. This is a building that existed in the base XCOM 2 game that's been slightly augmented for Long War 2. In the base game, the AWC randomly grants your soldiers new perks as they level up. With the Long War 2 mod, as you level up, you have the option to send soldiers to the AWC to receive special training. This takes a few days, and while they're receiving that training, they're unable to fight, but the results speak for themselves. This eliminates a nice bit of randomness from the original game's AWC, and I'm interested to see what all of the new perks look like. Last and final thing before we get started, we are coming into this mission with a very powerful squad. We're using a specialist, 2 assaults, and 2 rookies. So we've still got that limiting factor of the rookies, but now we have the ability to aid protocol. We do have a med kit on our specialist as well, and a smoke grenade. Our 2 assaults are coming in with shotguns, so Steve Badger and Andrzej Schwarzkopf are going to be able to dookie blast enemies if they can get in close with run and gun, and our rookies are just going to provide whatever support they can with their flashbangs and frag grenades. So this is a very powerful squad. Now let's get into it. Okay people, we are back once again for a guerrilla ops infiltration, Operation Mountain Beast. Our objective for today is to destroy the alien relay and find a lead. The current enemy activity is very light, though I'm pretty sure that's just a sentiment at this point, and it's not actually true. And our reward is 22 intel and an intel package. As you can see, the boost infiltration option is already grayed out because we already had to use it in order to get this particular squad in. So let's see if we can make some stuff happen. Alright folks, we are here, it's snowing outside, and it's time for some redemption. Alright, that last mission, I'm still feeling the pain. Alright, we lost 3 soldiers, we didn't even evac all the civilians. It was freaking brutal, to put it lightly. So we're really gonna have to get our shit together to redeem ourselves from a very dark and gruesome situation. And we've already uncovered a surveillance drone, my favorite enemy. I know it's yours too. I know it's yours too. I know you can't get enough of that Advent surveillance drone. I'm gonna try and go this entire mission without complaining about the surveillance drone. As much as I would like to, I'm not going to. Now, something interesting, Steve Badger, we gave him an advanced warfare ability, Lone Wolf, so he gains bonuses to his aim and defense when more than 7 tiles away from any allies. So we're going to try and keep Steve Badger isolated from the rest of the squad. Wherever the squad goes, Steve Badger is going to go in the opposite direction, and I'm willing to bet a significant amount of money that that surveillance drone is going to reveal my squad before I am ready to be revealed. So get ready for that salt mine to start drilling. And if I get revealed from moving to this tile, this game is stupid. Alright, we're fine. We've actually spotted another Advent patrol, a standard patrol, a captain and 2 troopers, and another patrol as well, sentry, trooper, and engineer. The surveillance drone is actually moving away from us. so we might be able to avoid it completely for the time being. But Steve Badger is going to continue on his flanking maneuvers. And what we're going to try and do, I'm not using my sleepy time voice right now, but I'm sure as hell going to be sneaky. All right, that wasn't bad. We've lost vision on the pod that's over here, but we do know they're there. And I'm taking this way too seriously, I think. I mean, I really feel like I have something to prove now because of that last defeat. I mean, it was gruesome. It was gruesome to say the least about it. So we're really gonna try and show some good stuff here. We're gonna try and prove that I can beat this game on Legendary, because I've actually never beaten XCOM on Legend difficulty. I've only done it on Commander difficulty because Legend is kind of annoying because it is so difficult. Like the difficulty does go up significantly in Legend, and then you add on top of that all of the crap that Long War throws in there. I mean, they throw everything but the kitchen sink in to make the game more difficult. So, you know, it's hard. It's very hard. That's what she said. But we're gonna try and do it. You know, because whether or not it's the proper way to play or not, you know, because there's an argument to be made that XCOM is supposed to be played on Legend difficulty, because that's the whole premise of XCOM 2 is that we lost the war, because the canon for XCOM 2 is that XCOM Enemy Unknown is supposed to be played on Impossible Iron Man difficulty, and the amount of people that actually beat that game on Impossible Iron Man was something like 2% of all the people that played the game. So that's how this game came about, right? And so it almost makes sense to play on Legendary, but it creates a whole different experience, right? It's a lot more Dark Souls when you play it on this high level of difficulty. And at this point, though, any move that we make further into the fog of war is going to run the risk of blowing our cover and just ruining this entire mission. So we're just going to Overwatch and leave it as is, because I want to make sure I at least have a move that I can use to get away if I do trigger a pod that's somewhere in the fog. So we're playing smart today. And it looks like both Advent groups are hanging out together, saying, hey, I didn't know you guys were patrolling this way. Yeah, man. Shit, why don't we smoke a joint real quick before we get back on duty? I don't know why I think it's funny to think that the Advent do a lot of drugs. It's just, there's something about him. But here's what's going to have to happen. Steve Badger is going to continue operating on his own, but he's going to have to get all up in that ass at this point. There's 9 turns until the data transfer completes. Actually, you know what? Let's continue looking around. Let's look around a little bit more. See what we can find. Because if we can get Steve Badger up to the door without even revealing himself or another pod, we're going to Overwatch the rest of the squad. Okay. So this is a pretty tense situation, right? We've got the ability to potentially get into the house and open the door where the objective is without even triggering a single pod. So we're gonna Overwatch everybody, and then on the next turn we're gonna move in and we're gonna open that door. And they're coming closer. It looks like we got a surveillance drone and a turret, but from our current position, that turret is not going to be able to do anything to us. And it looks like there is actually a pod on the outside of the house. So if we do open the door, they're going to start shooting at us. All right. Jeez, man, this is brutal. Yeah, oh, by the way, this is light enemy activity. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you count the turret, 9, 10, 11 enemies on the field. That is light enemy activity. I guess that's light. But it certainly doesn't feel light. Maybe I should be bringing more soldiers on these operations. I don't know. But you know, having to deal with this many enemies does not feel light at all. There's nothing light about this. All right, this is pretty heavy. God damn it, is what I'm trying to say. And Steve Badger's lone wolf ability is gonna wear off pretty soon if I move him anywhere. Let me see where he is. All right. I've thought it over. I've weighed all the options, and I think it's going to be our best bet to start this off with a bang, and not a flash. I'm talking about grenades, that heavy ordnance. We can get 3 guys. I think the most that we're going to get out of this is getting 3 people caught in the explosion. But the question is, what are the 3 most valuable targets, and what are the 3 targets that we can actually eliminate most likely with this grenade? And I'm going to lean towards straight up clearing out these 2 basic troopers. The basic troopers aren't very powerful, but if they get lucky, they'll shoot somebody and they'll straight up kill them with a crit or something. So we're going to try and get a grenade on them. Didn't do as much damage as I was hoping for, but it is what it is. So let's get this started, man. It's time for some redemption. The Overwatches are going to come out. Advent Captain down, and one of the troopers is down, and then the second pod is going to activate. That guy is very excited. He was waiting for this. He was looking for some action all day, and of course the surveillance drone as well is going to start moving up, and the other pod is going to activate as well. And now it's a party. It wouldn't be a party without a sectoid, but now that there's a sectoid here, the party has officially started. We didn't Overwatch with everyone just because I wanted to have some options here, and I think the first option that we're going to make use of, and we're going to start seeing the reasons why having 3 rookies in a party is a bad idea. The first option that we're going to go for is Aid Protocol. We're going to give it to Steve Badger, because, like I said before, he's already got that lone wolf ability. So if he is isolated from the rest of the group, he's going to have a stupid amount of defense. And then with Aid Protocol, he's going to have even more. So he's buffed up in that way. And then we can start taking some shots. Not the drinks, but I mean some shots with our gun at the different Advent that are on the field. Or we could try something a little different. Which might actually be a smarter idea. We're going to go for a Haywire Protocol on the Advent surveillance drone and try and shut it down. Let's take a look inside. 88% chance to shut it down. The only way this isn't going to work is if this game is stupid. Oh gosh. All right. So we shut down one of the drones, and this is actually going to be pretty valuable for Steve Badger because he is now going to be able to move pretty freely and not have to worry about a drone coming in and putting him to sleep. So, I shut it down, right? It just doesn't look like it's shut down, but it is shut down. It's still floating, but it's shut down. Don't worry, it's shut down. Trust me. It's shut down. So, right, Lone Wolf, Steve Badger is basically invincible. He should still be, he should be getting the benefit from it. Yeah, there it is. I was looking in the wrong place. He is getting the benefit of increased aim and increased defense from Lone Wolf currently. So this sectoid, he don't know what's about to happen. But he gonna get it. Damn it, it didn't crit. Oh, how I miss the power of the double-barreled shotgun. I'm happy about that, though. So, yeah, we're already, though, starting to see the difference that can be made from having a more versatile or even just a correct squad composition. The Advent Engineer is going to launch out a flashbang at us. So that's going to be irritating. Andre's taking some shots, but they are going to miss, and this trooper is going to move in, trying to go for a point-blank shot. But he actually used all his moves on that. And the sectoid obviously going to go for a mind spin. Wouldn't be right if it didn't. Mind control. Well, that's not good. Okay. That puts a huge rain on my parade, doesn't it? So what do we do about that mind control, huh? What's the solution there? I'll tell you what the solution is for the mind control. We shoot that thing in the freaking head. Run and gun. Now, I don't know exactly what's inside this building, but I do know that there's a sectoid in here messing around with Steve Badger's mind. And we're about to get it! Thank goodness! Oh, cross my fingers for that one. Kick that shit open. Oh, hello. I think, I want to say that the sectoids can feel all sorts of emotions because they are psionic creatures. They're very in touch with their mental capabilities. So I imagine that this sectoid is experiencing a lot of fear right now. And boy, oh boy, am I experiencing a lot of joy. Get that shit out of here. Yes. And we got some loot. That's always nice. And the mind control is gone. So advanced corrosive shrapnel. Don't know what that is. I will take it. It's a lot of new items added by Long War. This is pretty interesting. Now let's take a look at what the rest of the map looks like. Now, just by the way, I know I could have... there was definitely a safer way for me to trigger that Overwatch. I could have probably broken it with somebody else before running Nico out. Nico, that's his nickname, Andrei Schwarzkopf. But, you know, just based on his little bit of lore that we gave him, I think it was pretty fitting that he just charged into battle. You know, got to go for that glory. Now, while we're on the subject of going for the glory, the data transfer is going to be done in 7 turns. We need to call down an evac, which will take 4 turns to arrive. I think we're going to call down the evac now because I believe we can get out of here in 4 turns. So we're going to be cheeky bastards, and we're going to call the evac right next to us. And we're going to pray to every bit of the universe that we can. And we are going to hope. We are going to hope really, really strong that Steve Badger and Andrei Schwarzkopf will be able to destroy the objective and get the hell back to safety. I thought that was a miss. Before the evac is ready, and then once the evac is ready, we can get the hell out of Dodge. So let's do it, people. This is the moment of truth right now. This is the moment of redemption. It's either going to go really well or really piss poor. So far, it's going real well. Our troops have adjusted to shooting the floating trash cans. They're getting better, people. They're getting much better. So here's what's going to happen next. We're going inside the building. Jump in that window, buddy. We got the flank on this guy. 75% chance. Basically 100. The surveillance drone is actually no longer sleeping, so we should probably deal with that first, even though I would much rather see an advent trooper get knocked the fuck into the wall. But the surveillance drone is a priority target, and it didn't die. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's no longer shut down. That's why I wanted to kill it. Okay, people. Cue the epic music. It's time to get serious. Oh, gosh. Oh, here it comes. Oh, here it comes. Oh, it missed. It missed. Yes. You know, I'm willing to believe that this is going really well because you guys are believing in me at the same time that I'm believing in myself. Okay, and with all that, you know, positive energy floating around in the universe, there's no way we can lose. There's no way we can mess this up. So we're gonna start off. Get rid of it. Getting rid of the surveillance drone. That's always satisfying. And then next up, we're gonna switch back to Andrei. We're gonna start peppering the objective. It's got 20 health. We deal between 4 and 6 damage a turn to it. We should be able to eliminate it in the next 3 turns. And we should also be able to eliminate the remaining enemies in the next few turns. They may have some loot on them, but I'm not really too worried about that at the moment. I'm just worried about getting out of here. Yeah, it didn't kill him anyway, so it's no big deal. And by the way, there's a cool one of the mods I have installed right now. I switched over to additional icons instead of numerical health display. Those 2 mods conflict with each other, so unfortunately I can't have both. But yeah, I'm not worried about the fucking loot. I should just throw a grenade. Nah, I'm not gonna throw a grenade at him. Take the shot. So additional icons, the base form of the mod allows you, allows you to see if enemies are carrying loot, but you can also change it to disable to only show the loot when you scanning protocol or battle scanner an enemy. And I think that's kind of a nifty mechanic that we can add to our playthrough, is that if we want to find out if an enemy is carrying loot, we're gonna have to actually scan them to see it. And look at that, Halo Reach DMR putting in work, shooting people in the chest. So I think that's going to be a pretty interesting feature to see later on. I do miss numerical health display quite a bit. I just like the way it looks as opposed to having the segments, the bars of health. Shit. Well, we're still protected. That ceramic plating's doing all right. And now it's time to take some shots at the objective. 1. Reload. Pump that action. I mean, I guess I could move into position and try and take out that trooper that's over there. Because the problem is... Oh, really? I crossed his line of sight doing that? I thought I was going to cross his line of sight doing that. But because that trooper is going to become an issue when I'm trying to leave with Steve and them. Because he's going to probably continuously overwatch them while they're shooting at the objective, which is irritating. So I'm going to actually try and eliminate that guy. Weapons dry, that's fun. But yeah, the additional icons mod is going to be interesting to play with, especially there's going to come a point where Illyrium cores are going to be super valuable, and we're going to pretty much need every single piece of loot that gets dropped. And that's when the battle scanner and really checking to make sure we don't destroy any extra pieces of loot is going to be important to us. But for now, since they're, we're not really worried about building anything, we're not worried about too much of anything for the moment, we don't really need that extra thing. So just by the way, guys, I don't know if you noticed this, but Steve Badger about to blow the hell out that objective. Took it out. My fist is in the air. That's what I'm talking about. And that trooper is currently not on Overwatch. So, Mr. Schwarzkopf can come back to a covered position. There you go. And there you go. So it's going to take Steve Badger 2 turns to actually get back into safety, into the evac point. But at this point, guys, we've done it. We freaking done it. All right, this is 100% redemption. We've redeemed ourselves. And you know what? Just to make sure that no nonsense happens, I really don't want anything bad to happen on this evac point. And I don't want Angela Kirkson to die. She's been doing a pretty good job. I'm going to chuck a smoke out right on the evac point. So, yeah. Area fucking secure. And there we go. We are finished for the day, and what a flawless finish it was. This is definitely the redemption that I needed, that we needed, because if we had another series of bad missions like the previous one, we would definitely be worse for wear. We wouldn't be able to have enough manpower in the future. We can't keep losing soldiers, but you know what? I don't think that is going to happen, because we got people like Steve Badger. We got people like Andrei Schwarzkopf and many other soldiers in our roster. There's a lot to get through, but we are going to get through all of them. So with that said, the name of the game is XCOM 2. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.